Most people think ghosts are the scariest thing that can haunt them. But the truth is, ghosts are predictable. You know what to expect: cold chills, flickering lights, strange noises, shadows on the wall. But a Sigma male? That's a living paradox, unreadable, emotionally untouchable, impossible to influence, and yet fully aware of your intentions long before you're aware of your own. Ghosts can't destroy your reputation, expose your insecurities, or dismantle your ego. But a Sigma male can, without saying a single word. This video will reveal exactly why Sigma males are unconsciously feared, why people feel uneasy around them, and why, psychologically, a Sigma male is far scarier than any ghost in the room. Prepare yourself. This is not feel-good content. This is the dark side of Sigma psychology. The version people try to avoid, deny, and pretend doesn't exist. Let's begin. Number 1. Sigma males see through people with ghost-like intuition. One of the most frightening things about a Sigma male is the way he reads people, not slowly, not gradually, but almost instantly. It's not logical, and it's not something he has to consciously think about. It's an instinct, a silent internal radar that picks up everything others try to hide. While most people struggle to understand the intentions behind someone's words, a Sigma male can decipher the emotion behind a single glance. He sees beyond polite smiles, practiced expressions, and flawless social masks. To him, the human facade is transparent. You might laugh, you might act confident, you might pretend to be in control, but a Sigma picks up on the microtensions in your body, the shifts in your tone, the tiny flickers of discomfort in your eyes. He can detect nervousness, insecurity, deception, and hidden motives the same way someone senses a cold draft in a haunted room. What makes this intuition truly terrifying is how effortlessly it operates. People who lie or manipulate usually prepare strategies, stories, or defenses. But a Sigma doesn't need to catch you in the act. He already feels the inconsistency between your words and your energy. He notices things most people overlook: the way someone avoids a topic, the way their voice lifts when they're hiding something, the way their eyes linger too long or not long enough, the way their smile doesn't match their emotions. It's as if he has a sixth sense, an ability to perceive truth without any tangible evidence. To those being observed, it feels like standing under an X-ray machine with nowhere to hide, because the Sigma's intuition shines through every layer they try to cover. Most people navigate life wearing emotional armor. They hide their insecurities behind loudness. They hide their fears behind jokes. They hide their envy behind compliments. They hide their loneliness behind social media confidence. They build identities designed to protect the fragile parts of themselves. But a Sigma male sees straight through those defenses. Not because he wants to expose people, but because he can't help noticing. His mind automatically identifies the contradiction between who someone claims to be and who they genuinely are. And the moment he sees those cracks, he understands the entire structure beneath them. This is why people often describe Sigma males as hard to fool or impossible to manipulate. It's not that he is suspicious by nature, it's that his intuition catches details long before others even register that something is off. If someone approaches him with an agenda, he feels the subtle shift in their energy. If someone hides jealousy, he notices their micro-reactions. If someone pretends to be strong, he sees the insecurity trembling beneath their actions. Even people who think they are great actors find themselves uncomfortable around him because, for the first time, their practiced manipulation fails. Their charm doesn't work. Their lies don't land. Their masks don't hold. And that is terrifying. Being understood without saying a word is uncomfortable for most people. It's like being exposed under a bright light in a dark room. Sigma males don't intentionally pry into someone's mind. Their presence simply makes people feel seen in ways they've never experienced. This creates a strange psychological effect. People feel drawn to them because of their depth, yet unsettled because of how accurately they are perceived. It feels supernatural, like a ghost watching you silently, noticing things you didn't even know were visible. People sense that hiding anything from a Sigma is pointless, and that realization alone is enough to make even confident individuals nervous. What truly sets Sigma intuition apart from normal, reading people is the emotional neutrality behind it. He doesn't read others to judge them, control them, or gain an advantage. He reads them because his mind naturally observes beyond the surface. And this lack of emotional bias makes his perception brutally accurate. He sees people as they are, not as they pretend to be. People who are used to controlling narratives or manipulating perceptions suddenly find themselves powerless. In the presence of a Sigma, their masks feel heavy, obvious, and unnecessary. This ghost-like intuition is what makes Sigma males simultaneously magnetic and intimidating. They move through the world with quiet awareness, understanding more than they reveal, seeing more than they speak, and sensing more than people are comfortable with. And when someone realizes that this man can see the truths they've been avoiding, even truths they haven't admitted to themselves, it creates a fear deeper than any paranormal encounter. Because ghosts may frighten you from the outside, but Sigma males have the unnerving ability to frighten you from within. Number 2. Their emotional control is terrifyingly unshakable. Another reason Sigma males intimidate people far more than ghosts is the frightening depth of their emotional control. Most people walk through life like open wires, easily triggered, easily manipulated, easily thrown off balance by anger, envy, insecurity, or fear. They react without thinking, lash out without understanding, and crumble under pressure. But a Sigma male is different. While others operate from impulse, he operates from awareness. His emotions don't control him, he controls them with a mastery that feels almost unnatural. People expect reactions, they expect a raised voice, a defensive comment, a visible sign of discomfort, but with a Sigma, they get nothing. A stillness so steady that it unnerves even the most confident individuals. When someone tries to provoke him, he doesn't take the bait. He doesn't argue, doesn't raise his tone, doesn't break his calm. Instead, he studies the situation with cold clarity. His patience is not weakness, it is power. The more someone tries to poke at him, the more they reveal their own emotional instability, while he remains grounded and unmoved. This lack of reaction is terrifying because people rely on emotional cues to control or predict others. Without those cues, they feel lost. Manipulators especially become desperate. They try harder, push harder, escalate their behavior, but the Sigma stays silent, centered, and impenetrable. It's like trying to punch smoke, nothing moves. When someone insults him, he doesn't flinch. His expression stays relaxed, his breathing steady, his mind quiet. He has nothing to prove and no desire to validate anyone's expectations of how he should respond. This alone exposes the insecurities of the person attacking him. They suddenly feel like a child throwing tantrums at someone who simply watches with quiet amusement. That power imbalance is what makes a Sigma terrifying. He never descends to chaos, he forces chaos to rise to his level, only for it to collapse under its own weight. Liars find him impossible to manipulate because he is not emotional enough to fall for their tactics. He doesn't react to their stories, he evaluates them. He listens to what they say, how they say it, and what they don't say. While others get tangled in the emotional web of manipulation, the Sigma sees the threads clearly. He recognizes the patterns, the inconsistencies, the gaps in logic. And once he sees through someone, their influence over him disappears instantly. You cannot confuse a man who stays calm enough to see the full picture. Drama also fails miserably around him. Where most people get pulled into emotional storms, the Sigma stands in the center, untouched. He doesn't feed drama, he silently suffocates it. People who thrive on chaos rely on emotional reactions to fuel their power. They need fear, panic, anger, jealousy, anything to spark conflict and gain control. But with a Sigma, the storm hits a wall. His stillness disrupts the entire psychological dynamic. He doesn't argue, he doesn't chase explanations, he doesn't get trapped in emotional spirals. His refusal to engage makes the dramatic person feel ridiculous, loud, and powerless. This emotional self-mastery is rare, and people sense it instinctively. It's why a Sigma's presence feels heavy, controlled, and unshakable. You cannot intimidate someone who is not afraid. You cannot guilt-trip someone who cannot be manipulated. You cannot destabilize someone who has already conquered his own inner chaos. This internal strength creates a quiet fear in people because it forces them to confront their own emotional weaknesses. In the presence of someone so calm, their anxieties, insecurities, and temper become painfully visible. What makes this even more unsettling is that a Sigma's calm is not fake. It's not an act. It's not forced stoicism. It's genuine emotional sovereignty born from years of introspection, solitude, and self-discipline. He has spent time understanding himself, his triggers, his fears, his patterns. He has faced his darkness alone, confronted his flaws, and learned to silence the noise inside his own mind. So now, external chaos barely touches him. People sense this, and it scares them because they realize he operates on a level they cannot reach. Unlike ghosts, who scream, rattle chains, or create chills to unsettle people, Sigma males don't need to make any noise. Their silence alone is a psychological shockwave. It forces others to reveal themselves. It exposes the emotional volatility people spend their lives hiding. It dismantles manipulation without confrontation. A Sigma's calm is not just impressive, it is frightening. Because when someone cannot be shaken, cannot be provoked, and cannot be emotionally broken, others start to wonder what he is truly capable of. And that fear is deeper and more real than anything supernatural. Number 3. Their quiet presence has a haunting psychological effect. A Sigma male doesn't need to speak loudly, dress dramatically, or fight for attention to be noticed. His presence alone creates a psychological shift in the environment, subtle, silent, but powerful. People feel it before they even consciously acknowledge it. It's the way he walks into a room without seeking validation, the way he carries himself with a kind of inner certainty that doesn't need external applause. This self-contained energy acts like a mirror, forcing people to confront their own insecurities. Most people depend on noise, talking, laughing, over-explaining, to feel relevant or comfortable. But Sigmas move differently. They occupy space without trying to dominate it. Their calmness exposes other people's chaos. Their silence exposes other people's need for attention. And their self-assuredness exposes other people's insecurities. When someone with loud energy enters a room, people react outwardly. But when a Sigma enters, people react inwardly. Suddenly, they wonder, why am I acting this way? Why do I feel watched? Why do I feel judged even though he hasn't said a word? A Sigma's presence hits the subconscious mind like a cold breeze in a dark hallway, unnerving, unexpected, impossible to ignore. People instinctively become more aware of themselves, their tone, their posture, their words, their intentions. It's as if the Sigma flips a psychological switch inside them, making them examine themselves more deeply than they want to. This is why some people describe a Sigma as intimidating even though he hasn't done anything. He awakens insecurities that people work hard to hide. Ghosts supposedly haunt houses with eerie energy. Sigma males haunt the minds of those around them with an energy that exposes truth. And what's terrifying is that he doesn't do it intentionally. It's simply the natural effect of a man who knows who he is and refuses to pretend. Number 4. They can disappear emotionally without warning. A ghost can vanish in an instant, leaving people startled and unsettled. Sigma males have the same ability, but it's much more devastating because it happens in human relationships, where emotional presence matters most. A Sigma is patient, observant, and often deeply understanding, but he has a clear threshold. The moment he detects manipulation, disrespect, or emotional dishonesty, something inside him switches off. Not slowly, not gradually, but instantly. 1 second he is fully present, listening, engaging, offering support, and the next, he is emotionally unreachable. This emotional disappearance is not done out of anger or vengeance. It's a form of self-preservation, a silent withdrawal that requires zero explanation. And this is exactly why it terrifies people. There is no argument, no breakdown, no dramatic goodbye. It's calm. It's clean. It's final. He doesn't block you. He doesn't insult you. He doesn't tell you what you did wrong. He just stops giving access to his emotional world. And because Sigma males rarely open up in the first place, losing access to them feels like losing something priceless and irreplaceable. People find themselves haunted by the sudden emptiness. They replay old conversations. They question their actions. They wonder why he changed. They seek closure they will never get, because Sigmas don't feed chaos with explanations. It's the psychological equivalent of a door that shuts silently in the middle of the night. No slam. No warning. Just the sharp realization that the warmth behind it is gone forever. Ghosts vanish to frighten. Sigmas vanish to protect their peace. But the impact of their disappearance leaves a far deeper wound, one that lingers long after they've left. People don't fear losing a ghost. But losing a Sigma male? That's the kind of loss that stays in the soul. Number 5. Nobody knows what they're truly capable of. A ghost terrifies people because it is unknown. You never fully understand what it wants, what it can do, or how far it will go. Sigma males embody that same unsettling mystery, but on a far more human and psychological level. The Sigma is the one man people can't read, can't predict, and can't fully understand. And that is exactly what makes him so frightening. He doesn't showcase his intelligence, he lets people underestimate him. He doesn't broadcast his emotions, he lets people assume he doesn't feel. He doesn't reveal his goals, he lets people wonder what he's thinking. While most people loudly display their strengths out of insecurity, Sigma males keep everything close to the chest. Their ability to remain internally hidden makes people feel off balance, as if they're talking to someone who might be 10 steps ahead but will never let them know. A Sigma may understand a room better than anyone else, but he won't flaunt it. He may have the emotional depth of an ocean, but he won't expose it. He may have the intelligence to dismantle someone's motives, but he won't announce it. This creates an eerie psychological tension around him. People sense something powerful beneath the surface, something restrained but undeniably present. They feel that he is capable of far more than he shows, socially, emotionally, intellectually, even strategically. It's the quiet ones that people fear the most, because silence hides a world of unknown potential. Humans fear unpredictability because it removes their illusion of control. And a Sigma male is a walking paradox, calm but powerful, quiet but observant, detached but dangerously capable. No one knows how he will react if pushed too far. No one knows how sharp his mind truly is. No one knows what plans he's been silently building. He is the silent force people fail to understand, and that lack of understanding is what makes him more frightening than any ghostly presence. You can scream at a ghost, but you can't control a man who keeps his entire world hidden behind unreadable eyes. Final thought. Ghosts may haunt abandoned houses, moonlit hallways, and forgotten places, but Sigma males haunt something far more personal and far more terrifying, the inner world people try desperately to avoid. Ghosts linger in shadows. Sigmas linger in the mind. A Sigma male doesn't frighten people because he's violent, aggressive, or outwardly dangerous. He frightens them because he exposes the truth without saying a word. He is a living mirror, silent, reflective, precise, and mirrors are the last thing insecure people want to face. When someone looks at him, they don't just see him, they see themselves. Their fears, their insecurities, their contradictions, their unspoken desires, their hidden motives. All the parts of themselves they've buried under noise and distraction suddenly rise to the surface. A Sigma doesn't attack weakness, he simply sees it. And being seen that clearly, that deeply, that effortlessly, it shakes people to their core. His presence alone disrupts lies. His silence dismantles manipulation. His intuition reveals intentions people would rather hide. Most individuals survive by blending in, by performing, by pretending. But Sigma males don't play those games. Their authenticity is too sharp. Their awareness is too advanced. Their emotional independence is too rare. And that combination makes them unpredictable, uncontrollable, and unmistakably powerful. While ghosts haunt physical spaces, Sigma males haunt psychological spaces. They haunt the ego of the manipulator. They haunt the mind of the liar. They haunt the insecurity of those who rely on masks and facades. A Sigma walks through life with an untamed spirit, unshaken by criticism, unbothered by noise, untouched by chaos. He is the calm in the middle of storms and the silence that makes people question themselves. He is the kind of man who forces others to confront the parts of their soul they've been running from for years. And that is why Sigma males are scarier than ghosts. Not because they haunt others, but because they awaken what others thought they had buried. They don't chase. They don't shout. They don't threaten. They simply exist in their truth, and that truth exposes everything around it. In the end, a ghost can only frighten someone for a moment in the dark. But a Sigma male? He leaves an impact that lingers long after he's gone, echoing in the mind, reshaping perspectives, and revealing truths people never wanted to confront. And that psychological shadow is far more haunting than anything supernatural.